All right, we're rolling. Welcome to the Tim Hayn Podcast. Here it is. I'm testing a microphone. I'm testing everything. I've never done this before. It's my first time doing it. Just putting myself out there. I've had multiple recommendations that I should do this. Shout out to Rob Watt. Finally did it. It's happening. I'm here. Rob Watt's been instrumental in getting me to start this. He wanted me to do this years ago, and here it is. Now it's happening. So there's no rules. I've decided there's no rules to this podcast. I not a proper set schedule. I might do a couple times a month. I might do a couple times a week. Whenever I'm interested in posting something that I'm interested in talking about, you'll get it. I don't want to have any parameters or rules or anything that'll hold me back from doing this. So I'm going to talk about anything. Mostly stuff I'm interested in, like music. I am a musician. I'm a singer-songwriter, chasing the dream. Right now I'm in my car because I'm in between Instacart deliveries. That's what I do in between gigs when the money is not coming in consistently musically. I work for Instacart. I do a bunch of different things to keep the money flowing in. And Instacart is one of the more consistent things that when all else fails, I know I can just turn on the Instacart app and make a few bucks. So I'm hustling, I'm grinding. Anything to not have a boss is my go-to mantra. Um, I live in Venice Beach. I'm in Los Angeles. I I'm out here doing the dang thing. Uh, like I said, there's no rules, so we're gonna get a lot of free form. Me thinking about things as they come up. I'm nervous, definitely nervous, because I want this to be perfect, and that has kept me from getting started in the first place. Is the old ADD. There's the ADD saying, which is, or the ADHD proverb, which is, it doesn't have to be perfect. Or wait, it doesn't have to get done. It just has to be perfect. So I'm getting this done. Bunch of mistakes. I'm not even going to go back and edit those mistakes I just made. This is what it is. This is what you're getting. Thoughts on my life, thoughts on things that happen as they happen. So chasing the dream. I'm working hard to make my dream a reality. I'm in multiple bands. I have my own personal music my original songs that I've written under my name, Tim Hayn. That's why I'm calling this a Tim Hayn Podcast. That's my brand, is me, my name. I'm a singer-songwriter. I write my own songs. I am also in a couple cover bands. I'm in a cover band called Left on Rad. Sometimes myself, Tim Hayn, gets hired under my name, but to not play originals and to play covers, because let's face it, that's what pays the bills. And so anything music. I'm a recording artist, I'm a producer, multi-instrumentalist. I play guitar and I sing. Those are my two main things, but I also drum and play piano and trumpet and horns and bass and every instrument you see in a rock and roll band. That's what I do. uh, I have a huge network of friends and family and people that I've curated over the years that are in the industry, and sometimes I'll invite one of them on as a guest. And sometimes it'll just be me doing this and telling stories about from the road, stories of life experiences that I've had in the music industry. I'm 39 years old, so this year I'm turning 40. Big deal. I've been at this a long time, and to be completely honest and vulnerable and upfront, it's not all glittery. Not all that glitters is gold. It's very difficult. It's a struggle. It's I'm out here struggling. Um, there's not a whole lot of, let's say, guidance, if you will. I'm out here in the Wild West, just figuring it out, just shooting from the hip, throwing everything to the wall, hoping something sticks, and and yeah. So I'm just out. I just want to share my life, share my thoughts, share my stories. Sometimes I'll have something serious to say. Sometimes I'll have something funny to say. Sometimes it'll be inspiring. But here we are. We're out here. We're doing it. I'm finally doing it. The nerves are wearing off, but they're still there. Even now, as I'm going along, I'm constantly thinking about what should I say next, and was that okay? And uh, this constant striving for perfection is a real game, and I'm out here being vulnerable, allowing that perfectionism to take a back seat so that action can be forward. Front seat? Forward? You know what I mean. Perfectionism has kept me from taking action so much in my past that here I am just taking action, doing it. I've been wanting to start a podcast myself for quite some time. I've had multiple friends tell me that I should start a podcast, and so here it is. I got a bunch of stories from the road. I used to tour with the rock and roll band called the Red Elvises. I toured for 4.5 years. I've played over 1,000 shows, and I've been in thousands of cities, 4 countries, 45 states in America. Traveling and adventure, I live for that. I live for adventure. I love the outdoors. I grew up surfing and skating here in Dogtown. Southside Santa Monica and Venice Beach are my stomping grounds. I'm a fourth generation Santa Monica native. I I've been in LA. I've been here my whole life, and I love I have a constant, unquenchable thirst for musical knowledge and adventure. I just can't get enough. I'm constantly learning new things, whether it's becoming a better guitar player, learning a new blues lick, learning a new chord, and getting my fingers around that chord progression. It's just an endless, fun game that I get to play, and unlocking these cheat codes, whether it's cheat code in life or a cheat code musically. It's just fun. I I love being here. I love life. I can't get enough of it. I'm super stoked in general. I'm very enthusiastic. I'm a very positive person naturally, and if this happens to be how you meet me, then welcome. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my story. Welcome to my journey. I appreciate you being here, and yeah, like I said, I just pressed record without any plan because I kept planning. I kept planning and planning and planning and planning, and that kept holding me back and holding me back and holding me back. So I finally just did it. I just did it. I pulled the trigger. I got a decent little USB microphone. I got my car set up. I got a phone mount. I did all the things to get me started. So here I am. I've started. I've hit record. I'm not going to review this. I'm just going to publish it. I'm just going to publish this onto YouTube and Spotify and all the places that like podcasts. I'll create a separate page on Instagram called the Tim Hayn Podcast, and I'll give links to that as well. I want this podcast to exist as its own thing, as well as promote myself and my music along the way. My music can, my brand can promote the podcast. My podcast can promote my brand. I think it's going to be very beneficial. And if one of them takes off before the other, that's fine. That's great. This is just another exciting venture to explore artistically. And I'm an artist, and I'm always down for an adventure. And so that's what this is. This is an adventure. I'm definitely not a pioneer. This has been done before, but I am pioneering this for myself, if you will. I've done the whole research and self-help things, whether they're podcasts or books and or videos. I've been on this constant intake of self-help things, and that's good. But I'm taking a step forward and taking action in using that inspiration and motivation to actually take a step forward in the right direction. Every journey, as long as they are, start with a single step. So here I am. I'm taking that single step and moving forward. Again, no rules. That's one thing. I do not like anything to not have a boss. I don't like having parameters or things to hold me back. I kept thinking about what I want this podcast to be. And every time I thought of a lane to stay in, it just felt like a hindrance, something that was holding me back from actually beginning or starting. So sometimes I'll get on here and talk about a song that I like, like a Beatles song that I just can't get enough of. And I'll do a whole video essay to why I love this song and why I've repeated it 840 times in a row. Sometimes I'll get on and I'll have gotten some frustrated stories in traffic because I'm driving all day, and I'll discuss that. I have a list of pet peeves that bother me that I think are funny and fun to talk about. Like an example would be when people don't put the dividers on the checkout lane when you're at the grocery store. And so then I put my checkout divider behind your thing, and then I put another one behind mine. Like, you should be courteous of your fellow man and put that down. It's like little things like that. Now I'm laughing about it. Sometimes they get me real worked up, and I can get real worked up and upset about things, and I'll probably come on here to vent about those things that frustrate me. But every time I get mad, I'm reminded of something I learned about a year or two ago, which is anger is you punishing yourself for something someone else did. I love that. Someone cut me off, and I was so pissed at him. I was so mad, and I'm holding that. Oh, this person did this to me, and I'm so mad, and I'm angry, and because of my ego, and they did this to me, and that's a punishment to myself for something someone else did. And they're not even thinking about me. Everyone's in their own world. Everyone's doing their own thing. So to let that one little minor inconvenience bother me, it took an extra 10 seconds to cross the intersection. It's like, whatever. These little grievances and pet peeves and things that bother me, they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things, the things that matter the most, the things that I place at the top of my hierarchy of values are friends and family and relationships, the relationships that we cultivate with friends and family. I am fortunate enough to have such a wonderful, huge, loving group of friends and families and people that I really genuinely care about, that genuinely care about me too. And that makes me the richest man in the world. I might not have a bunch of money, but I got a lot of love. I got an overwhelming, full cup, an overflowing cup of gratitude and love in my life that I'm just happy. I'm just happy to be here. I'm really stoked to be here. So I'm here to tell stories. I got stories from the road. I got stories from shows. I'll be promoting future shows. I'll be promoting future songs. I'll go over songwriting and how I come up with the idea of a song. And the ideas of what I want to talk about on this podcast are literally infinite. They're endless. So this one, to get started, why I'm starting this podcast and how there's no rules, that's the main idea for this one. And I've brought you along on this journey. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I appreciate all of you and all of your love and support. And that's it for now. Thank you very much for being here, and I'm excited to share more with you later. There it is. Welcome to the Tim Hayn Podcast. We're all going to figure this out together. Here we are, signing off.